Oh, what a week. So, in the YNW Melly Chronicles, some of y'all is blessed and some of y'all is messy. So, what we going to cover today? In this video, we're going to talk about YNW Bortlen making a court appearance, the ongoing he said between YouTube blogger Meritaboy and YouTube blogger YNW Juvy father Christopher Thomas Sr. So let's get into it. This video I'm running now, it's just some footage I pulled from the YN 100 track management site. So I just pulled some footage. I was reading over the guy's bios. So let's get into it. So Bortlen, he was in court today. His attorney asked, could he have privileges to go to work? He's an artist. The judge said, no way, no privileges, because he said that, well, we know this. YNW Bortlen, he had privileges before. I heard they had said something about him being at a strip club. This wasn't brought up today, but this was what I heard a while back. He went to a strip club, but today his attorney said he was working, maybe making an appearance. Said he was working, maybe making an appearance. Y'all know Meritaboy likes to call YNW Bortlen. He's very, very hard on these young men. They have not been convicted in a court of law, and they're facing, well, Melly is facing the death penalty. I have a thing against the death penalty, and whether you think YNW Melly did it or you think he didn't do it, we all have a right to our opinion. I haven't decided if he's done it yet. I'm still watching the trial. I would not vote guilty because I don't believe in the death penalty. Black and brown people get the death penalty. Wealthy, white, affluent people don't. But yes, white people get the death penalty if they're not affluent. But so I'm not for the least of us getting the death penalty. That ain't how it works. For those who or have made up their mind that Melly has done it, if you think he's done it, life in prison, could I vote for that? If after seeing the evidence, I could vote for, I would say 25 years. And rest in peace, YNW Juvy and YNW Sack Chaser. I'm making what I call these pop-up videos. I plan to make more in depth, like do a deep dive on this case, about this case. I'm fascinated with true crime. Like I said, rest in peace to the victims. But let's get into Meritaboy and Spoon. It is a he said. The reason why I don't believe Meritaboy, I didn't say I did not believe the charges, because I do believe the charges, but we'll get into that in a minute. Meritaboy, if you was friends with him and it brought you to tears, why within a whole day you just slashing him, going in on him? Again, you thought it was funny for Sack Chaser to be accused of messing with little girl's cuckoo, his sister's cuckoo. But then when what's the name of doing it, you don't think it's funny, you want to cry. But it's not funny in either case. It's not funny. Calling names and all that stuff, that's like juvenile. So Meritaboy, I did not get to see all of his live today, but I caught like bits and pieces, and I guess he was having a paperwork party, and he was it act like, you know how like if somebody dies and then you just go back to normal. So the way he cried on that video, it's like he's just back to normal, like him and Spoon never knew each other. Which supports what Spoon is saying. Like, I didn't know him. We knew each other for 2 years in grade school. We hadn't talked. Spoon said he ain't come to his daddy funeral. He ain't come to Juvy funeral. He said he ain't even call him and check in on him like, how you doing, man? You need anything? If he said if they was homies like Meritaboy is trying to make it seem like, why he ain't come to the funerals? Now, as far as Spoon is concerned, I'm jumping in and out of his life. He's on there laughing, talking about his dark-skinned, beautiful woman with the big rump. He's talking about what they're smoking on, their plans to go out tonight, to go to the movies. He said his life is all good. He living good. He said he's going to show you what he's going to do on the 4th of July compared to what Meritaboy going to do. He said Meritaboy just be laying on his, what do you call that, air mattress, eating Spam. He said he doesn't have a car. He said, but if Meritaboy want to meet up with him and get with him, he'll send him an Uber, even put him up in a hotel, because Meritaboy ain't got no money. Meritaboy said he's changed his life. He is such a moral person. His daughter's picking him up today, and he has a past, but that's no longer him. And so he just want to move forward. But he go into this, I want to be so good, that was my past, into you're calling YN Bortlen name, you're making light of what Sack did, you making light of Jamie, and it doesn't seem like you really care about YNW Juvy or YNW Sack Chaser. It doesn't seem like you care that they get justice, because you've already convicted them without seeing the whole trial. But you seem like you just back to normal, like it's a playful thing. And how can you kind of like Charleston White without half of his talent, but you got a little talent, because you just making jokes about these people are deceased. You calling people names. It kind of take away from, I don't know, it just take away from us really respecting your content, right? It does. I think you've grown as a blogger, and I think you can go on to do great things, but the name calling, all that, I mean, I understand we all joke and have a little fun. It ain't nothing wrong with a little jokey joke, but just stanky feet and this and that, and it's like it becomes silliness. And I ain't no prude. I like to have fun and joke, but it just becomes overwhelming. Now let's get to Spoon. Spoon is a narcissist. At least it appears that way. I jumped on his live. It had already started, and it's still going on now, but I had to jump off because I can't listen to how great his life is. He basically said, even if I did do it, look what happened in my life. Look how my life turned out, and look how your life turned out. My life turned out pretty great. Listen to what he said. He said, if I did do it, or even if I did do it, like OJ, even if I did do it, look how my life turned out. You might as well have done it. Your life turned out crappy. Basically, that's what he's saying. But he's on there, he's laughing and him joking. He's trying to keep up. He's saying YouTube really don't mean nothing to him. He said he's been going back and forth talking with Track, which Track, if we are to believe what's being put before us, Track was all in this, had no weapons and all this kind of stuff. If we are to believe that, and to even joke with him and text with him, it's kind of like foul. He's calmed down on calling his baby mamas the B word, calling his daughter the B word. I wonder if Sack is accused of, I think he is accused of messing with his daughter Chloe, but I think Spoon is taking up for him. I don't know. All this messiness, y'all. I like to say this. A person could be 85% blessed and 20% messy. We've been in this world for so long that we've seen a lot of mess. So we kind of don't know normalcy if we don't hear mess. But we ain't got to be 100% messy. Spoon seemed a little 100% messy. First of all, it's disgusting. It's terrible what he is accused of doing. The reason why I keep saying accused, because I haven't read the paperwork. I know that it's out there. First of all, I don't have a desire to read the paperwork. I believe that he's capable of that. I believe he's capable of anything. He seems very narcissistic to me. He seems like he never had to take responsibility. He seems like he was born, he had born with a lot of things in his favor. He talked about Meritaboy. I think he even called him not attractive. And so he talked about so many things he was born with that he's kind of like the Donald Trump or the little YouTube blogger world. Never had to take responsibility, never been made to take responsibility. Yes, I know he's been in prison, but he kind of like jokes it off. I think the joking though too is hiding some pain, because he did lose his son. And also, he's done some crazy things. I don't know if it's because he was off on that stuff with that man, whatever, but this is painful right now. I'm sure his daughter may be watching the content. And so I'm trying to be on my end as respectful as I can. I don't joke about that. I've been there, done that. What Lil Mama been in, I've been there, done that. And so it's a very painful thing. So I'm not trying to make light of it. Should she come across this content, I'm going to continue to send it up to the universe for healing for you. I think that, in regards to Meritaboy, I think that he's breaking through. I mean, Spoon called him dumb and said he was stupid. And when I first started watching Meritaboy, I was like, look at his country self. And just, he said some incorrect words. We all do, whatever. But I'm just like, but he's come a long way. I think he's a great storyteller. I think Spoon's a great storyteller, but I think Spoon is a manipulator. Meritaboy is a manipulator too. But I don't see him as a narcissist like I see Spoon. And anybody put their hand in their daughter, panties, that takes it to another level. But Meritaboy, he a manipulator too. Spoon said he did not go to his father's funeral or his Juvy's funeral, but he didn't even call and say nothing. I remember Meritaboy telling the story that he didn't go to his baby mother's, I don't like saying BMs, but anyway, funeral, because he needed to pay his bill. So everybody's guilty of this. We want to be better than the next person. We want to be, I take care of my kids, or I ain't never did this to my kids, or I've been a real father, or whatever like that. The bottom line is, y'all, as I think about these 4 young men, and lately they've been on my mind, YNW Melly, YNW Bortlen, YNW Juvy, YNW Sack Chaser, they've been on my mind because these boys weren't choir boys, but nobody is. And choir boys aren't. That don't mean that choir boys worse than worldly people, right? Some of them. But none of them deserved what happened to them. Well, if Melly did it and Bortlen did it, then obviously they do deserve what may be happening to them. Melly don't deserve the death penalty. But they all come from very troubled backgrounds, if we are to believe the reports and the stories that are out there. YNW Melly, born to a teen mom. Bortlen's mom being on drugs, him being unhoused, having to live on benches. What else? YNW Juvy, he got Spoon for a father. Spoon was on another live saying he don't know how Melly got him because Juvy and Sack Chaser was the real steppers. So it's just been a he said mess. I'm just freestyling these videos because I wanted to be in other people's videos, like Meritaboy's video, and give commentary, express my opinion, or like my mama would say, pass my opinion. But I kept getting blocked. I didn't call nobody no names. I mean, I don't get off into that name calling. Oh, he's unattractive. He broke. He this, he that. I don't like that. I mean, we all, like I said, 20% messy. We all 20% messy, whatever. Some people say they 95% blessed and 5% messy. But whatever the ratio is, we all that. So I'm making these random videos because I wanted to just be in Meritaboy videos. Making videos, it's work. I've been, well, I ain't going to tell you what I do, but I work, right? So it's a lot of work. But I really want to give my opinion on this. I want to see people even though Meritaboy that made all this big mistake, I want to see some of these black bloggers go far, because you see a lot of these white bloggers, they got 800,000 views. They attorneys or whatever. And I ain't saying they shouldn't have the views. I'm not going to take nothing away from the white bloggers. But just because you're a lawyer don't make you an expert. Who is more of an expert? Somebody who didn't lived in the neighborhood, who was once these young men. Who didn't live in the neighborhood, who was once these young men, who can give their perspective, who could sit on a panel, anybody's panel, and give their perspective of what's going on, what they see in the trial, who they think is telling the truth, who they think is lying. So some of these experts, they say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and I watch them. I like them. I don't have nothing against these other, white bloggers or whatever like that. But I like to see some of the brothers' numbers go up. It is what it is. I did hear that fool, that D-Rider, Dream Doll. I had thought it was, she says, Captain and Tennille. I had thought it was Tennille. Excuse me. I thought it was Tennille that was calling me names or whatever like that. And come to find out it was Dream Doll. And Dream Doll is an idiot. I mean, like I said, I'm 20% messy because she's on there calling me names, said I want all black criminals to go free. Does that make sense? Does that even make sense? You sound like a fool. I'm going to end this. Thanks for listening to my rambling. Stay more blessed than messy. Stay at least 85%. Keep your ratio up to 85% blessed and, maybe, I can't even do the math, 15, 20% messy. if you have to be. A lot of people like to act like, oh, I ain't messy. This person's messy. Everybody like to call everybody else messy. But you know what? They messy. So when you call somebody else messy, know that one finger is pointing at them, but the other fingers are pointing at you. Y'all give a like, leave a comment. Thank you. I know this video is not perfect. I am not perfect. But I just want to give people a platform where you don't have to get blocked. As long as you can express your opinion in a respectful way, whether you agree or disagree, it's all good. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay blessed.